back stuff that he's had before this year. But I thought he really set the tone. This may have been, he's had a lot of good games, but in some ways this was his efficiency tonight was just terrific. I thought picking his spots, he got 20 shots, which were 20 great shots, and he set people up. He's getting mad at his teammates when they don't shoot. I told him one time Hunt bobbled it, and he said, "I'll throw him a better pass." So on the defensive end as well, and I thought, as I said, I thought he really set the tone for us, and this was a tough game. This was a really good win.
Yeah, I was going to ask, it seems like the bench also has been having kind of a resurgence as of late with guys like Garrison and Bruno really getting comfortable with the extended minutes. Just as this team kind of continues to mesh, what has pleased you about what you've seen from the reserves?
I think our whole team, they're playing the right way. And, guys are, it doesn't matter if you're coming off the bench or, Dylan tonight, I don't know how many minutes he played. He's probably the least of the guys that played. And he shot the ball with confidence, he got in the glass. The only thing that I would really point to is there were times in transition that we weren't back quick enough. And, but they're athletic and they drive the ball, and, that's stuff, so we gotta be, not be fatigued. That's just, we gotta be mentally tough.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the 10 steals in the first half, especially 4 from Clint Capella. Just how critical is that to the game, especially when Clint can get those kind of?
Well, they're disruptive, but we're getting them because we're disciplined. They're not, he's not gambling. They're just in the right place. And if we took care of the ball a little bit more, we would have made more out of it because we turned it over a little bit during that stretch too. I think that's indicative of guys being in the right place, as I said, rotating, having each other's backs, and you fall into steals, and that's something that's really good. We'll still make some plays, but and Clint did. We've got guys that those deflections. We just want to see our guys spread out and need space, and Clint was doing that, and he got his hands on some balls.
You guys had a burst at the beginning of the third quarter, kind of pushed the lead out, and what were kind of the keys to keeping them at arm's length basically the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think we came out again. For us to come out with a purpose in that quarter was really good to see, particularly because we knew the game was going to be a grind. We talked about it before the game. We talked about it at halftime. They're going to keep playing. We just need to stay, poised. Their pressure picked up, and I thought our spacing was good. And then, we were able to, kind of hung around 14 for a while. But I thought when we started getting stops again, we got some easier buckets. And they played well. They made shots in the first half too. I thought we had some good defensive possessions where they scored. But it was good to see. It takes some maturity to do that.
I know you spoke about it already, but DeJounte seemed like he had his fingerprints all over this one all night. How important is it to have someone like that, play like that, when you guys are dealing with all the injuries and you have different guys stepping up every night?
You want me to say it again? It's important. It's really important. And that's why I led with it, because I think it deserves, I want, it's not so much even how he played. Like I said, he was super efficient, and that sets a tone on offense, where he's making plays for other people. We knew the way they were going to play pick and roll, and unfortunately Bruno got a few calls that I thought were tough, but we were going to be able to get some of those threes with their bigs back, and then they blitzed him, and he dropped it off to I think it was Clint, maybe Bruno in the middle of the lane. Just good decisions.
Coach, Garrison had a new season high of 21 points tonight. Just from what you've seen, what's allowed the confidence in him to kind of grow his game at both ends of the floor?
He's put the time in. He really has. He's working on the right things. Anytime you shoot the ball, and as well as he does, and that's a threat. You can, that become, if you know how to use it, it gives you an opportunity to do some other things. And, a few weeks ago, we were encouraging him to take the dribble, turn the corner, and then really play with his feet on the floor and be disciplined in there. And you saw him hit a floater. I think more than anything, then if you can do that, it's no different than one of our guards getting away in a pick and roll. They have to react. And, that is another level. Those reads, and he's reading the defense before he gets the ball, which I think is the key.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.